Yeah. All right, well, we're going to bring on our next guest right here. We're going to class and join up a little bit. First time on the show, ring card girl for MMA and UFC and a boxing junkie, she says. Ashley Ferrera, welcome to the show. You're on with myself and Jeff Mayweather.
Hi, how are you guys doing tonight? Thank you so much for having me.
Good, and yourself?
Oh, no complaints. I'm in Oklahoma tonight, and it's pretty chilly out, so I'm jealous you guys are on the West Coast.
No, I'll be in Oklahoma.
Yeah, are you?
So
are you anywhere near Thackerville, Ashley?
You know what? I'm actually about 2 hours north of there. Are you going to be at the Bellator fights?
Yeah.
That should be a good time. That's a great casino.
Yeah, I don't know if you know how much you follow the MMA stuff, but King Mo's actually trains his boxing with Jeff, so he's going to be there in the corner for King Mo.
That is awesome. Well, you will not be disappointed. That casino, it's beautiful on the inside and the outside. So I hope everybody in Oklahoma treats you very well.
So you're at a Hooters tonight, right? Oh, sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, I said I've been to Oklahoma once. I used to train George. I can't say his name.
To do a new
crazy kid. Whatever, but he's from Oklahoma as well. So he's an Indian fighter.
He
George,
is, and he will be. I have ring carded some of his fights. He'll actually be fighting on Friday night fights.
Yeah, he's fighting Delvin Rodriguez.
Yeah, they call him Comanche Boy here.
Yeah,
that is
Comanche
his nickname.
Boy. Yeah. I used to train him too.
Oh, well, he certainly has a very impressive record, so that definitely speaks volumes about you.
Yeah, well, he's a good fighter.
Yeah. It'll be exciting to watch him on Friday Night Fights.
Definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, tell us a little about you, Ashley. You do the boxing and MMA, so just to the folks that aren't aware of you that missed that, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I love ring carding for boxing especially. I do a few MMA fights, but mostly boxing. It's such a great sport, and it's one that I love to watch. So when I ring card, I get great seats, which is a huge bonus for ring carding. Right up and close with the action. I've gotten blood dripped on me before, and it's pretty exciting. I'm in my last semester of law school, so y'all better watch out.
Whoa, well, see, now there you go. You got a built-in lawsuit. You ogle the ring card girl, and you get sued. See, you got everything.
Well, you know what? Some of the great boxing promoters are attorneys. Bob Arum is an attorney. Lou DiBello is an attorney. So maybe I'll just become a promoter one day.
Yeah, you never know. It's like, do you have one that you prefer more? I mean, you said you do more of the boxing, but do you have a preference in boxing or MMA?
Well, you know what? It's funny. We just went to the Strike Force finale when it was in Oklahoma City, and we had a good time there. But there's just something amazing about the atmosphere at a boxing fight that I just didn't feel when I was there. So I would have to say that I really do love boxing, and I would absolutely go to an MMA fight, if I didn't have tickets to a boxing fight that night. But my first love would definitely probably have to be boxing.
Hey, Jeff, let me ask you this. I don't know if you had a chance to go check out some of Ashley's pictures, but she certainly is a head-turner. There ever been an instance in a fight where either you or even worse, one of your fighters, and I can think of one specifically, not involving you, but where the ring card girl is kind of distracted either you or a fighter?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say they distracted me, but I was always, anytime I was a fighter, I mean, I was aware of the ring card girls. I mean, most of the time, only time you're not really aware of the ring card girls being in the ring is usually when you're the one you're the one that's being beat up because you are getting, a cut attended to or something like that. But I think most fighters are aware of the ring card girls. At some point in time, you actually take a look at the ring card girls as they walk around the ring. You know, it's not like
Right.
you're just so focused about boxing that you don't realize what's going on.
I know a couple of months ago in the Matisse Jose fight, I can't remember his name, but the guy that I believe it was Jay Leon Love, the guy that was disqualified him for fighting him. He actually was after the announce. He was actually hitting on the girl in the ring while they were announcing the decision. It's absolutely bizarre.
Cool.
You know that he was that focused on the girl. What's that?
Cool.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember the guy's
Well,
name, but it was whoever it was.
I have actually heard a ring card girl hitting on a fighter while in the ring once, so I would say anything is possible.
Oh well, give us the details. You don't have to tell the names, but give us the details of that.
Well, I was at a fight, and it was on Showtime, and we were standing behind the fighter as they were announcing his name, and the Showtime camera, was filming us. And the girl yelled out, "Will you do body shots with me after the fight?" And I thought, oh, no. And, of course, the camera then switches away. Probably not something that you really want the ring card girl saying on TV like that. But it was funny in retrospect.
Any particular stories with you that are interesting one way or the other?
Well, I don't I don't think I'd be able to tell my story without giving the person away, so I'm going to not tell that one. But I will say that, it does happen. I mean, ring card girls are very pretty, and, the boxers are the heroes of the day, so they always want to take the pretty girl out. But for the most part, it probably occurs a little less than you might think. I haven't really partied with boxers a lot afterwards. I think the production
crews... You're busy studying for law school, right?
Well, the media guys and the production crews, they're all usually awesome. And, as I'm sure as you guys know, but as you go to different fights, you get to meet friends, and it's always a nice little reunion. The fighters always change, but the production crews, for Showtime or HBO are usually the same. So that makes it pretty awesome to see those people over and over again.
Right. You'd mentioned how pretty they are, but, it's for some reason Las Vegas, which is filled with lots of pretty girls, too many times I'm absolutely disappointed by the ring card girls. What goes into selecting them? Do they just does it depend on the venue or the promotion, or just explain how you become a ring card girl?
That's a great question, because it's one of the biggest things that boxing needs to change. The way that most ring card girls are chosen, especially for local events, is that they will have the local promoter go out and find some girls, whether it's friends that he knows, or they'll use a local a local modeling agency or something. But you see what the UFC does, you see what Strikeforce does, you see what Bellator does. I mean, every time you walk into any kind of newsstand, Ariane Celeste, Brittany Palmer, the UFC ring card girls, they're front and center. And boxing absolutely needs to get some of these, named ring card girls that people can identify with. It's definitely a marketing value that's untapped, and it's probably the one thing that I am just most passionate about. So I'm so happy that you asked about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem there, and Jeff, you can probably speak better on this than I can, but, when you have Bellator and you have UFC or Strikeforce, it's one central organization promoting their brand. So, when I see Ariana Celeste, I know that's UFC. However, with boxing, you have, different promoters, you have different organizations, so it's hard to promote one particular person. Everyone's more concerned with themselves than they are promoting the sport in general. Jeff, your thoughts on that?
I think when it comes to boxing, it just seems like it's more about the fight itself and not so much about, the ring card girls. But, I think that, just like she said, that maybe if, they would use, particular ring card girls, they would become more of an attraction themselves and actually a part of the event.
Right.
That's exactly
it does
true. I completely agree. Because, Top Rank and Golden Boy are two of the biggest promotional companies, and they could definitely get one or two girls to represent them. And, you say that UFC and Strikeforce, Ariane is UFC, but there's no reason that Top Rank can't have a named girl. And the amount of marketing dollars that these girls could pull into this sport, you may be able to develop programs like pension and benefits with extra dollars around. It could be great for everybody.
Right. And considering your boxing and your audience is, 90% male or whatever it is, that, having pretty girls forward there representing your brand can be a bad thing. They're going to get paid attention to. And I'm sure they're making, UFC is making money off Ariane. There's no doubt about that. It's great for her. She's getting popular and she's famous. But no doubt about it, they're capitalizing on that, and they're selling the calendars and whatever else. So they're certainly benefiting from her popularity.
Yeah, and you might even be able to pull in new fans. The ring card girls, they develop a fan base. The UFC ones, they develop a fan base, and people will go to see them. And pulling in a younger crowd to, really develop the sport going forward and come to the events, boxing's kind of an older crowd. And if we had a younger demographic coming in, even if it is at first to see the ring card girls, they find fighters they like and they keep coming, and that's what I think would be a great benefit.
All right. Last thing I want to ask you about that, and we'll get into some boxing talk because Jeff, he doesn't take anyone doesn't get too warm with anyone until he knows how well they know their boxing. So we're going to have to test you out here. But just as far as how did you get involved? When did you decide it was something you wanted to do? And just how do you enjoy the experience? Basically you're up front and center there without much clothing on for everyone to see. So just rate the overall experience for yourself.
You know what? It's always so fun to do events and the big fights. I did Chavez Jr.'s fight last year in San Antonio, and the crowd gets so excited that the one thing I always think is don't trip. Just please don't fall. And then I always tell myself if I fall, I just have to smile when I'm getting back up, and, as long as I don't make a big deal out of it, hopefully the crowd won't as well. So it's definitely something I love doing and hope to do going forward. And I'm kind of hoping that Jeff is kind to me in this next segment, knowing that I'm also studying for law school. So.
Oh, he's not kind at all. He's one of them. Unlike Fernando Guerrero, he's probably one of the meanest people you'll ever meet. So you got to be careful with Jeff. But we'll try to make sure he's nice to you.
Oh gosh. Well, I will just plead the fifth if I have to, I guess.
No. First, I guess, we'll start with you, Jeff. The one thing on the show is surprising. We hardly ever talk about Floyd, so, let's get into that a little bit. We've known for a while that he's fighting on May 4th, but still no opponent. There's been rumors. Is it Canelo? Is it Robert Guerrero? Now they're talking Tim Bradley. I know you don't know who it is, but why is there such a delay in this announcement?
I think maybe Floyd just wants it to be that way. But, chances of it being Tim Bradley are almost slim and none. We know that. They just, Bob Arum doesn't put his fighters in with Floyd. So that's not going to happen. So that's one.
Right, well,
that's one.
The one.
I said that Bob Arum does not do business with Floyd. So Tim Bradley's not fighting Floyd.
Right. Well, that's the one thing, I read Dan Raphael's blog the other day, and he talking about the possibility of it being that, he mentioned, obviously that, Floyd has a, rough relationship with Top Rank, but perhaps, he threw out there that was one of the reasons why the fight hasn't been announced, because they're undergoing some, very sensitive and delicate negotiations and trying to work this out. So, you just have to refuse that. I think there's no way that he's ever going to fight a Top Rank guy.
I don't think
Manny, I guess, at some point.
No, I don't think so. When they had Manny and they didn't make the fight with Manny, the fight's never going to be made. Tim Bradley can't sell out 5,000 homes. So, that fight won't happen.
All right. Ashley, let's turn it over to you there. Who would you like to see him fight? Like I said, all the names that have been out there. I guess from a fan standpoint, and then if you were Floyd himself, which path would you take?
Well, see, I look at this as I want whatever fight is going to get the most amount of the mainstream audience who doesn't typically tune into boxing to watch the fight. If that mainstream crowd still wants to see Floyd fight Pacquiao, that's what I want. If they want to see him fight somebody new, that's what I want. But I think it's really important for boxing. It's kind of at a phase right now where they really need to generate new fans, particularly younger fans, and people who are excited about continuing the sport going forward. MMA is on such an awesome run that to really compete with it, you needed to get a little bit more mainstream. They've done some great things on NBC Sports, having it on, Saturday afternoon, and I think continuing things like that would be great. So whatever everybody else wants is absolutely what I want.
I don't know, Jeff. She demonstrated some knowledge there, but she kind of copped out and just said whatever everyone else wants. I don't think that's good enough, right?
Well, as a ring card girl, I want whatever's going to get the most amount of rounds. So you tell me who's not going to get knocked out.
That is truly a ring card girl talking, because the corner, they want as least rounds as possible. And the fight want as least rounds as possible. That's funny.
I can see her whispering over to you, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, slow your guy down. I want this to go 3 more rounds at least so I can get out there a couple more times.
Well, a ring card girl's worst nightmare is a first-round knockout because you don't walk the first round. So you can have a huge title fight and never step foot in the ring.
Yeah, that's
true. You do after when the decision's announced, right? You're in there.
It's just not the same. It's just not. Nobody is cheering for you. They're cheering for the fighters.
Yeah, you're getting a chance to stretch.
And we don't get paid. We don't get paid by the round. So the more rounds, I don't get paid any extra for that. So it's because I love it, which is why I would want it to go more rounds.
So Jeff, Bradley's, according to you, there's no chance that's going to happen. So are you still sticking, with Guerrero? That's the most logical opponent?
I think so. I think he's probably the most logical. I mean, it's only really, there's basically him or Canelo.
Yeah.
So,
most people are kind of saying it's
No, go ahead.
It just seems, the most common train of thought is that it's going to be Guerrero here in May, or May, and then Canelo in the fall. So that seems logical. Like I said, Guerrero to me just seems like such a, I don't want to see it. I mean, obviously Guerrero's done some nice things here recently, but it just seems like such a I don't want to say easy fight, because no fight's ever easy, but it just seems like he can do better than that. But hey, whatever's bringing the dollars, right?
Well, I think the thing is that, before Guerrero got the win of Roberto, I think that it was perceived that way. But now, after beating Berto and, in the way that he beat Berto, I think that there's a lot of people that, are basically on the bandwagon now of Guerrero and probably feel that he does have a chance.
Right. Ash, let me ask you this. Obviously the Manny Pacquiao lost his last fight there. There's been a lot of talk whether he should continue to fight. Your thoughts on him? Do you want to see him continue to fight? And do you think that he can restore his career and maybe one day get that shot with Floyd and have those two square off?
Well, I kind of made a joking tweet after I saw that fight that said maybe he does need to get back to his vices to start fighting well again. But I think more, I'm thinking about your previous question, and I would definitely love to see Floyd fight Canelo. If not in May, definitely in September, because the awesome crowd that Canelo brings, the Mexican fan base on Independence Day, it's an electric atmosphere. And even to just the restaurants that show the fights, it's pretty exciting. So I would love to see that. But, as for Pacquiao, he really does have some other career ambitions, and if that's what he wants to do, and, maybe that's what he should do, it's very noble being a public servant, and, I think that he should definitely pursue that if he wants. So I did hear some talk about him being upset about the taxes being high in the U.S., so that if he did fight, he would probably want to do it outside of the U.S. So maybe we could also get some tax exemptions going in there.
Well, no, I think you're being a little hypocritical, though. You're kind of saying that maybe he's distracted by doing two things at once, but yeah, here you are being a ring card girl and doing law school. Do you find that distracts you, and do you think that you're not quite able to live up to your full potential as a ring card girl because you're distracted by law school?
Well, I am not getting punched in the face, so I think that makes it a lot easier. All I have to do is walk around in heels, and that is way easier. So I think that makes it easier to balance things. It's always a hard balance, and, I didn't get to go out to Vegas this year in December for the Pacquiao fight because I had finals, and that was pretty disappointing. But, I am so close to being finished that doesn't really matter anymore, and I will be an attorney and ring card girl, so I think I've got it balanced all right.
Well, I'm sure your cheesy lawyer commercials like they always have, for every law firm, I'm sure they'll be quite popular when you throw those up. A lot better than Glenn Lerner, right, Jeff?
I can guarantee you that I will never be on one of those. I will never be on one of those.
You could be like,
I don't know about there about. Jeff, going back to Pacquiao, just, what do you think? Like Ashley touched on, and I wanted to bring that up about the dual thing, him being involved in politics, and seems like since he got, really involved in that, his abilities in the ring have slipped. If he does continue, do you think he can do so successfully, juggling both those things at the same time, or, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, to be honest, I think that you can juggle the two things at once if it's something that you really want to do. I mean, it's not like boxing takes, a whole lot of your day. I mean, you may train 2 hours a day, that's it. So, I mean, something's wrong, you got to be focused, but at the same time, he's been fighting for I don't know how many years, so that's nothing. So, I mean, he can do the both. It's just that people have a tendency to think that you can't because, you have to focus on this. No, you don't have to focus. If you've been boxing all your life, and as long as he's been boxing, you don't have to focus on boxing. Only thing he needs to do is get in the gym and work hard and do what he needs to do. And come home and do what he needs to do as far as being, a politician. It's no big deal.
Right. And I think that's the thing that a lot of fans don't realize. They don't really know what goes on in the gym. We're raised on Rocky, and we think that it's, you wake up at 5 a.m., eat some raw eggs and run, 20 miles, and then you spend all day chasing chickens and working out and chopping lumber and all that kind of stuff. And then, it's a full-time, 12-hour day thing. And like you said, it's not really necessarily that. Usually they'll have, just a few hours of work, might change a little bit come fight time, but it's not all consuming where you can't do anything else.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got to get up, you do your road work. After you do your road work, I mean, depends on how your regimen is. Sometimes you have people that have a strength trainer, and then they'll do their strength training work, and then they go to the gym. But what I'm saying is that as long as he's been boxing, that structure won't really matter as much because he knows what he has to do. As a fighter, he knows what he has to do. As a politician, he probably doesn't know. So right. that would be more. I think that would be more difficult for him than the boxing. Preparing for a fight.
All right. Now, actually, let me ask you this: How often do you work? Are you a ring card girl? And does your preparation, like a boxer, does it change? Come closer to fight time, so you can get in tip-top shape?
Well, last spring semester was the hardest. I think it was 8 weeks. I was traveling for 7 of them, and by the end of it, I was so tired. I was in almost a different city every weekend doing a fight, but I got to do some really cool things. I ring carded at the USA National Championship, the Chavez Jr. fight, and just a lot of great events. So my training really has more to do with making sure that I'm keeping up with my schoolwork and making sure that I'm handling all of the other things that go along with it, like remembering to eat right when I'm on the road and things like that. But you got to look it up there, so you cannot forget to do that. And it's also something that I enjoy to do. I mean, Jeff hit it right on the head. If you are not passionate about it, then it doesn't matter how much time you have to do it, because you're not going to give your 100% anyway. So if you want to do it, then you will definitely make a way to do it. So, I mean, this Thursday I had class all day, but then on Thursday night it is the Oklahoma City Charity Fight Night, and Boom Boom Mancini will be in town hosting that. And I'll be one of the hostesses there as well. So, I have time to do that because I got the rest of my work done all this week.
Right. Any particular well, first of all, what was your favorite event you've ever worked at? And then, who are some of the active guys that you're a big fan of?
My favorite venue would absolutely have to be the Alamo Dome, because I had been to the Alamo Bowl there and, seen a football game there. I'd seen the Women's Final Four there, and to me it was always just such a special place. First of all, because it's in Texas and I'm from Texas. Second off, because it's such a huge sporting venue that so many people know that it was really special to me to actually get to be a part of an event there. And there was just something about looking out into the crowd and just seeing people about as far as your eye could see that really made it special. Man, you're not really going to make me pick one person that I like, are you?
No, name a few. We won't. I know you can't name a person. That's obviously you've shown you can't do that with naming an opponent. So we'll let you throw a few out there.
Well, I will name my former. I mean, he doesn't fight anymore, but Larry Holmes is definitely my favorite boxer. He's one of the funniest guys I think I've ever seen on TV, and I think he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, actually, we had Larry Holmes on a few months ago, and I got a chance to meet him out here before that, and very surprised. You had this perception, of a guy being one way and totally opposite. He was an absolute pleasure. He was singing and dancing, and couldn't have been nicer to everybody. So, yeah, he's a class guy, and he's certainly someone that I'm a big fan of, and Jeff as well.
Yeah, and I do have a few local fighters that I also do like to follow. Adam Lopez is one of the fighters that I follow. He's been on a couple undercards that I've done. He's one of the nicest kids that I have ever met, and he works probably harder than anybody also that I know. And so I think I follow people who, may not be fighting on the televised portion of events, but are just people who have really been good to me along the way, and I've seen them work absolutely the hardest.
Right. See now, Jeff, I didn't hear a Floyd Mayweather in there. I didn't hear Celestino Caballero or any of the guys you work with, Jeff. So I don't know.
Well, that would be sucking up. Please, people can see through that. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear.
Well, that's the whole purpose of the show. we're just here to suck up to Jeff, and kiss ass any way possible, right? He demands that. So it's really tough to deal with.
I already said he made an excellent point. Was that not enough?
No, but you know what's ironic? Okay, did you say?
Well then why don't you ask me who my favorite trainer is?
There you go, Roger Mayweather, right?
It would be Jeff Mayweather. Don't.
Jeff, what were you going to say?
No. She was speaking about Ray Mancini doing a movie.
Yes. He will be
in is it another boxing movie?
I didn't catch that last part.
No, I said, is it a boxing?
No, I don't think he's in it, Jeff. I think he's hosting it. He's not actually in it, right, Ashley?
Oh, yeah, that's correct. He will be in town hosting a charity festival that we do. I just read an article in the paper that he actually grew up with the Stoops brothers, who are here in Norman coaching the OU football team, and so I guess it'll be very cool for him to come down here and see them and host our fight night. And it benefits the Police Athletic League here in Oklahoma City, so it's really cool that he's come down for that.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. I actually did a movie with him.
Did you? Do you think he'll sign my book if I ask him?
Will he do what?
Do you think he'll sign my book if I ask him?
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He's a very, very nice guy.
If I say, hey, Ray, I know Jeff Mayweather, will you sign my book? Will that be enough?
Yes, that'll get you in, for sure.
See, that's another great
I'm sure you don't need any... I'm sure you won't need any tricks to get him to sign your book. You just ask him. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to. So you live there in Oklahoma City, huh?
Yeah, just south of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, actually, I met my wife she was going to Central Oklahoma there. I met her in Edmond.
Wow. Well, that is, Edmond is definitely one of the nicest parts of town, so you have good taste, and I'm sure that your wife does as well.
Well, she was there studying on a scholarship from Panama, and that's where, I met her there. And I'm actually I lived in Texas as well. Where are you from there?
Houston.
And I lived in Spring when I went to high school, so.
No way!
Hey, Ashley, don't believe that story, because I remember what he told me. He told me he met his wife under the bridge.
Are you calling my wife a troll? I'm going to get her on here, Jeff.
I didn't say she was a troll.
I don't. Yeah, I think she has some.
She was under the bridge.
I think she was
right by the exit with the sign.
I think it's a compliment compared to what he was actually saying.
I think she might have met me under the bridge, but no, she was studying English there at Central Oklahoma. I got to go up there. Yeah, it's a real beautiful city.
Well, Oklahoma is known for beautiful girls too. We are actually tied for I think it's number of Miss USA's with California, so we packed quite a punch for a little date.
There you go. All right, well, actually, that's going to about do it for us. Just as far as I'm sure you have tons of fans already, but for the 5 people that don't follow you, just let them know where they can keep up with you on Twitter and Instagram and whatever arena you're working at next.
Yes, well, you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at Ashley Ferrera, ASHLEYFERRARA. And my Instagram is Ashley Ferrera Model, so same name with model at the end. And the next thing that I will be doing is on Thursday hosting this charity fight night. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm working on letting them have me ring card around. It's a celebrity ring card round. So we'll see how that goes. I have to convince them that I'm cool enough to do it, so we'll see.
All right. Jeff, any final thoughts for Ashley or anything else to say?
Well, I wish Ashley continued success, and I might be needing you one day. I don't know, what kind of trainer are you? I might...
Yeah, what kind of law are you studying?
Well, I would love to come to the next Mayweather fight, and I might even say that he's my favorite if I come. But
What kind of law are you studying, Ashley? What kind of law are you studying?
Probably oil and gas contracts. That is.
I don't think you need that, Jeff.
No oil. I ain't got no oil or even got no gas in my car, so she can't help me.
Well, we just gotta find it. We'll just drill for it.
I guess being in Oklahoma, you're never gonna. That's quite a good thing to study because you got abundance of oil there. Ashley, I'm kind of inspired. I'm gonna go watch Legally Blonde now. After having you on. Is it a pretty accurate portrayal?
Was that a direct comment or what? I was trying to,
Well, no, actually, Ash, I'm sure, you probably get comments like that all the time, right?
I do, actually. And you know what? She was very successful, and she made a lot more money than most of her classmates. So that is not the worst compliment I have ever received. I will tell you that much.
Exactly. Ashley, it was great having you on the show, and thanks so much for joining us. We'll have you back anytime. You're a delight, and best of luck to you. Hopefully Ray Mancini signs your book, and like I said, just a pleasure having you on. Anything else you want to add before we let you go and wrap up the show?
No, I just want to say thank you guys again for having me on, and just remind everybody that Jeff Mayweather is my favorite trainer. So I really appreciate it. And anytime you guys want some dirt about the ring card girl world, you just let me know, and I will help you all out.
Well, maybe if you ever get to work one of his fights, you can whisper at him something about body shots or in the middle of the fight, and then get him all sidetracked there.
I will probably wait till after the fight, all right?
All right. Jeff, we skipped it with Fernando, but, we'll let you go ahead and do your customary dismissal of Ashley and as we let her go and wrap up the show.
Well, I can't do that to a woman.
Well, you think I can't take it? Come on. Give me your best shot.
You sure you can take it?
You ready? I can.
Are you ready? I'm going to give you a body shot.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ashley. That was Ashley Ferrera there. Thanks so much to her and Fernando Guerrero for joining us in the first half of the show.